Breaking news out of the NBA. According to our Shams Sharania, Victor Wembanyama, the San Antonio Spurs star, is going to miss the rest of the season.
Some major breaking news just coming in from the San Antonio Spurs that Victor Wembanyama is expected to be out for the rest of the regular season.
Spurs star Victor Wembanyama, he suffered a left calf strain during Friday's loss to Golden State. It was confirmed by an MRI, and unfortunately for all of us, it's going to keep him out for at least 2 weeks. And sometime in 2 to 3 weeks from now, he's going to be reevaluated.
And he is going to hop to the locker room. That is not good.
We've spent the last few seasons trying to find the right words to describe Victor Wembanyama. We've called him a unicorn, a generational talent, an alien, but even those descriptors fall short of reality. Watching him is like witnessing a player from 30 years in the future who took a time machine back to the current NBA just to show us what's possible. He is 7'4" with a wingspan that seems to cover the entire court, yet he moves with the fluidity of a wing. It's the kind of basketball we've only seen ever in video games. But there is a persistent shadow that follows every giant in this league. In the NBA, talent is only half the battle. The other half is simply being able to suit up. We've seen this story play out too many times to ignore the risks. For a player with Wembanyama's dimensions, the mechanical stress of an 82-game season is immense. The leverage on his joints and the force required to move a 7'4" frame at elite speeds creates a level of physical wear that the human body isn't naturally optimized to sustain for a decade plus. We are witnessing greatness in real time, but we are also witnessing a race against father time that has stopped many legends before they could even reach their prime. To understand why there's so much anxiety around Victor's health, we have to look at the statistical reality of being a big man in the modern era. Over the last 20 years, the data is clear. NBA players 7 feet or taller miss an average of 24% of their potential games due to injury. For perspective, players 6'8" and shorter only miss about 13.5%. Being a giant in this league essentially doubles your injury risk. Take Yao Ming, for example. At 7'6", his skill was undeniable, but his size was his ultimate undoing. Between 2005 and 2011, he missed over 250 regular season games. It wasn't a lack of conditioning, it was structural failure. The repetitive stress on the small bones in his feet eventually led to the fractures that forced him into retirement at just 30 years old. For a more recent example, we've got Joel Embiid. As of late January 2026, Embiid has missed over 440 career games, nearly half of his possible appearances since he was drafted. Whether it's Andrew Bynum's knees giving out at 26 or Kristaps Porzingis missing over 320 games to date, the trend is undeniable. When you are that tall, every jump and every landing puts a disproportionate amount of pressure on your ankles and knees compared to a guard. The very height that makes these players elite is the same thing that makes them fragile. The concern for Victor didn't start in San Antonio, it followed him from Europe. Before the 2023 draft, he already had a history of significant red flag injuries. In December 2020, at just 16 years old, he suffered a stress fracture in his fibula that sidelined him for 3 months. In November 2021, he fractured a finger, and just a month later, in December 2021, he suffered a bone contusion in his right shoulder that cost him another 2 months. To cap it off, a psoas injury in his hip forced him to miss June 2022 Pro A Finals. Once he entered the NBA, the patterns shifted but didn't disappear. His rookie year was solid, but February 2025 brought a major scare. A blood clot in his right shoulder, deep vein thrombosis, that ended his sophomore season after just 46 games. Coming into the 2025-26 season, he's already dealt with a left calf strain in November and a hyperextended knee in January. The most dangerous factor here might be Victor's own mentality. He has been vocal about his disdain for load management. He wants to be an 82-game player and has quietly pushed back against the Spurs medical staff when they try to sit him for rest. While that competitive drive is what makes him a superstar, it comes at a high cost. For a 7'4" frame, the difference between a long career and a short one is often the willingness to listen to your body. His refusal to take nights off is admirable, but it may be the very thing that eventually forces him to miss numerous games. If Victor wants to defy history, he has to look at the one player who's successfully navigated at a nearly identical physical profile, Kevin Durant. Even though Durant is almost a half foot shorter than Wemby, they are cut from the same cloth. Both are incredibly skinny, lengthy, and lean. Durant is the blueprint for how a thin giant can survive and thrive in a league that used to be dominated by bruisers. Durant's longevity is the result of a deliberate shift in play style. He realized early on that he didn't need to bang bodies in the paint to be effective. He uses his length to shoot over defenders and his mobility to dominate from the perimeter. By playing a finesse-based game, he has minimized the high-impact collisions that led to broken feet and blown-out knees. Wemby is already showing signs from this evolution, shooting nearly 38% from 3 this season. If he fully commits to the perimeter-first model, he can essentially bypass the big man injuries that plagued Yao Ming, Joel Embiid, and many others. He has the length to be a defensive anchor, but on offense, he must remain a finesse player. His survival depends on the ability to avoid the physical toll of the interior and embrace the life of a 7-foot sniper. The future of Victor Wembanyama is the most important storyline in basketball. We are watching a player with the potential to rewrite every single record book, but he is doing it on a frame that has historically proven to be fragile. The 2025 blood clot was a warning, and the recurring calf and knees issue in 26 are indicators that the road ahead might be difficult. Victor will not have a traditional career path. He will either be the first giant to master the art of longevity through perimeter skill, or he will join the list of legendary what-ifs who are simply too big for the game. His mindset as a warrior is his greatest strength, but it is also his biggest liability. Ultimately, his legacy will be defined by his ability to prioritize the next decade over the next game. He has the potential to be the greatest player to ever play the game, but only if he can outrun the history that says a man his size isn't meant to last. The alien has arrived, and for the sake of the sport, we have to hope his body can keep up with the ambition. If you enjoyed this quick analysis today, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Also, like the video if you like this new type of content, if you just want me to stick to my normal type of content. Let me know what other takes and subjects I should get into next if you did enjoy this, and I will see you in the next one.